Welcome to another episode of Dante's Prison Stories. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, or I'ma push that blade.
Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Welcome to another episode of the Donta Show Network Storytime. Today's episode is about when they put a punk in my cell and all the drama that happened afterwards. But before we get into the story, I need for y'all to do a couple things for me. It ain't gonna cost y'all nothing. Just make sure y'all hit that like button for me right quick. Hype the video. And if you can, share the video. Also, for all my gamers out there that like to watch me play Fortnite and Call of Duty Warzone, make sure y'all subscribe to my gaming channel. I will have that pinned at the top of the comment section. My Patreon also will be pinned at the top of the comment section too. With that, let's get to the story. So, I end up catching a major headache. And when I say this headache was out of this world, it might have been a migraine. I couldn't shake it at all. Now, we are on an annual lockdown. And for those that don't know what an annual lockdown is, an annual lockdown is when they shut the whole entire prison down. And what they do, they comb through the prison tooth and nail. They bring certain special prison inspectors that come through, and they comb through they shake down every cell. Every nook and cranny in that prison, they come with the canine dogs. They sniffing out everything, right? And this time, you in your cell, and whoever you in the cell with, y'all in there, y'all locked in, right? Now, prior to this, everybody is trying to collect on their debts. People, if you got an addiction to something, you trying to get that because you don't know how long we gonna be. The last annual lockdown we was on, I believe we was locked down for 3 months, 3 whole months, and it was hell, y'all. So nobody likes these annual lockdowns at all. So anyway, I got this major headache or migraine. I don't know what it is, right? This thing done brought me to tears, brought me to my knees, right? Now, the only thing I can do is just wet my towel up, put it across my head, and bury my face in the pillow, man. I was so sensitive to light and all that, man. And I was going through it. I was like a big baby, right? Nevertheless, I get up on the bars. Man, CO, man, hey, man. I need something, man. I need a Tylenol. I need some migraine med. I need something. Come on, man. I need something. Right? After 20 failed attempts, finally they come through and they give me these 2 pills. Now, for those that know me, y'all know that Dante isn't no drug addict. I barely drink alcohol. I don't even smoke weed, y'all. Believe that or not. I don't do anything. I'm what you call a square. I'm high on my own self, okay? So my tolerance to things is very low. I got a very low tolerance to any and everything, right? So when they give me these 2 pills, I instantly downed them. Boom, bam. The problem is, y'all, this isn't Tylenol. This isn't aspirin. This isn't any type of pills that would get rid of a headache or a migraine. What these 2 pills, what I later learned was Adderall. Y'all like, what? Dante, what the heck is Adderall? Well, for those that's out there that actually take that medication, Adderall, y'all know exactly what that is and what side effects that have on somebody, especially somebody that ain't used to taking medicine. So I take it, right, and instantly I knew something was wrong. Now, yes, it did mask the pain of the headache or the migraine. It did after like 5 minutes. But then I noticed something. that was really odd. I got lightheaded. I got a little dizzy. And before I know it, I was knocked the fuck out. I was out cold. I wasn't even, all I remember is I was laying on my bed halfway on, halfway off the bed, right? I don't know how long I was out. I don't know nothing. All I remember was this. I seen a figure come in the cell, right? And normally I'm on my P's and Q's. I'm always aware of everything and anything, right? But I couldn't move. It was like, y'all know when they say, what is that called? It's when you sleep paralysis. It was like that. It's like I had sleep paralysis. And I see this guy come in there in the cell. Now, I'm like, am I tripping? Because the guy that came in the cell, he had his shirt like tied in a knot, like at the bottom. And I'm like so out of it. I'm like, what the right? But I'm in and out of conscious. So I just go back to sleep, right? Now I'm coming to. Because I'm smelling something. And it smelled good. Somebody in here making a cook up. Now keep in mind, y'all, I don't have no cellmate to my recollection at all. But there's somebody standing to the right side of me making a cook up. So it almost kind of reminded me of home. How good it smelled. I'm like, damn, man, what? So I sit up, right? Hole in my damn head, because I'm like, what the heck going on? And then my focus coming to full view. It's Peanut. Gay Peanut. Now, I know y'all gonna be like, Dante, that's a violation, man. What is Peanut doing in your cell? Didn't you tell us birds of a feather flock together? Didn't you tell us that if you get a homosexual put in your cell, you got to immediately refuse that and get out that cell? Didn't you tell us that? I did tell y'all that, but how y'all gonna fault me for something that I was clearly unaware of? I didn't know they put Peanut up in here. I was knocked the fuck out. I was out of my mind, right? So I was like, hey, how long have I been out? He was like, oh, it seems like maybe about a day or two. I said, what? He was like, yeah, it was about a day or two. I just let you sleep. I said, I said, what you cooking over there? He was like, breakfast burrito, you want one? But the way that he said it, he had his hand on his hip when he said it. I was like, nah, I'm good. But I ain't gonna lie, it smelled so motherfucking good, y'all. But my pride was in the way, right? So I said, no, I'm good. He was like, more for me. So I'm like, man, when did you get in here? He was like, the other night, I mean, me and my man got into it, so they end up moving me, and they put me in here with you. I said, oh man. So then I laid back down, y'all, because I was just out of it, man. I laid back down and I went back to sleep. Now I know what y'all thinking. But y'all gotta understand, I was incapacitated, man. It was out of my hands. I couldn't do nothing. My strength was gone. I wasn't in my right mind. And I mean, I couldn't do anything. So I just laid back down and I went to sleep. So finally I get up, right? A couple hours, I get up, right? And I got all the energy in the world. Now, I'm sitting up because keep in mind, y'all, I got the bottom rack. So I sit up and I'm like, okay, yeah, I must have was tripping. I must have had a nightmare of, Peanut being up in here, right? But then I hear a cough, and it came from above me. I'm like, what the So I ducked out the bed and I looked up. I said, what is you doing in here? He was like, don't start that again. Don't start that again. I said, no, why the fuck did you get in here? He was like, listen, I just told you earlier, and me and my man got into it, so they put me. I said, no, hell no, man, no, that's out, man. You can't be in here with me, man. He was like, well, they put me in here, and then I'm not going to the hole, because that's what they say. Either I go to the hole, or they going to put me in the cell. And I guess they put me. I said, no, hell no, man, that shit out. That ain't happening. That's out. So I get up, and I go to the cell, right? I'm like, hey, CO, right? Dudes like, hey, Dante, what's going on? I said, hey, man, CO, right? So the dep come walking down. He's like, what's up? I said, hey, man, no, man, I don't know what y'all got going on. I don't know what y'all trying to be funny or something, but Peanut can't be up in here, right? He like, hey, man, listen, man, it's the annual lockdown, man. Hey, he in here, man. I said, why did y'all put him in there? Y'all know damn well he don't supposed to be up in here with me. He like, man, listen, Dante, I didn't put him in there. They put him I just came on shift. I'm like, hey, no, man, y'all got to correct this. Y'all got to rectify this, man. This shit ain't happening. This ain't going down this way. He like, listen, man, I'll holler at the Sarge and he'll come talk to you. Other than that, man, he in there. I'm like, all right, man. So he walk off. And I say, hey. He like, what's up? I said, listen, man, go talk to the Sarge for real, man. Don't do me like this, right? So Peanut was like, do you like what? I said, hey, don't say nothing to me, man. Don't say nothing to me. So the dep was like, hey, Dante, if you touch him, you know you're going straight to the hole, right? I said, man, y'all better get this dude out of here, man. He was like, Dante, if you touch him, you going. And so now I hear the Sarge, hey, what's going on up there? He like, man, Dante up here tripping. So the Sarge come up there. He like, what's up? I said, man, hey, listen. Y'all know I've been chilled for the last couple of months. I ain't been giving y'all no problems. But, man, y'all got to get dude up out of here. So Sarge like, what's going on? What's going on? I said, ain't nothing going on. I mean, dude, man, he a homosexual. He can't be in here. Now, let me put a pause right there, because I know some of y'all in the audience, y'all so damn sensitive. No, Dante is not homophobic. Okay, no, Dante don't hate gay people. But this is what y'all got to understand about prison. Okay, prison is a place where the only thing you got is your reputation. That's it. It's not even your word, because a nigga will lie to you. They'll put it on their mama, their kids, and everything, and be lying to you in your face. So the only thing you got in here is your reputation. What that look like, me, Dante, being 6'1", 265 pounds, all muscle, hitter, bone crusher, right? Enforcer of my organization. What that look like, me being in a cell with a homosexual. You know, they say birds of a feather flock together, and I done told y'all that many, many times. So you mean to tell me, so rumors happen. They call it the grapevine. If word got out that big badass Dante is in a cell with a homosexual, what do y'all think is going to be said? And I know some of y'all going to be like, man, y'all so childish. Y'all so immature, man. Why do y'all care what people think? This is why you care what people think, because I had my hands in a lot of things in prison. One of them things was protection. People would come to me if they couldn't make it in prison for protection, right? I'll protect them for a fee, of course. But if somebody trying to get at somebody that's under my protection and they look at me like, man, this dude mess with punks. You know what I'm saying? They ain't going to respect that. And they going to be like, man, bunk that. We going to get at who we trying to get at, whether he under his protection or not, because this dude messing with punks. Or when I'm running the store, because I ran stores in prison too. You got it where somebody owed me something, And just off the strength of me in a cell with a punk, of me being known to mess with punks, they gonna look at me like, man, I ain't paying this dude back. Man, this dude messing with punks. And the list go on and on. So I hope that I clarified that for y'all that's so weak-minded and so and sissified out there that, oh, Donta always being homophobic. Nah, this just what it is, right? Just like I wouldn't be in a cell with no gang member because I'm not a gang member, right? Same thing. I'm not a homosexual, so there's no reason for me to be in a cell with a homosexual. I'm not no gang member, so there's no reason for me to be in a cell with a gang member, right? So there you go. Now, again, like I told y'all, this is an annual lockdown. Whoever you in the cell with, that's just where you at. Given may be that this peanut dude got into it with his man or whatever, I don't know why they didn't put him in a hole, right? And they put him in the cell with me, which for the life of me, I don't know, but I'm trying to get some straightening and figure this out. So I'm like, hey, Sarge, man, what's happening, man? Like, come on, man. Y'all got to get Buddy out of here, man. He like, listen, Donta, it ain't nowhere for him to go. I said, what you mean ain't nowhere for him to go? It ain't nowhere for him to go. The hole is all booked up. They got 2 men and 1 man cell down there. I said, well, what that got to do with me? I said, trade him out, man. Can I get somebody else in here? So he pulled up close to the cell. He said, come on, Donta. You know damn well ain't nobody else going. I said, so why the would y'all put this motherfucker in the cell with me? So Peanut was like, I ain't gonna be too many motherfuckers. You ain't gonna keep on saying derogatory names about me. I said, man, close your motherfucking mouth. So Sarge was like, hey, chill out, Donta. You going to the hole. I said, why I gotta go to the hole? I've been in this cell for the last 6 months, man. He was like, he said, man, hold on. You got this all fucked up, Donta. You a motherfucking inmate. This ain't your house. You don't run shit here. I said, listen, Sarge, man. All right. So he was like, Donta, I'm telling you right now, I promise to God, if you do anything to him, you going to the hole for a year. And he walked off. So I punched the wall. So Peanut was like, listen, if you don't want, I said, shut your motherfucking mouth, man. He was like, you ain't going to keep disrespecting me. I said, Peanut, just be quiet. He like, why you so mad for? Why you so mad? I said, Peanut, just be quiet. Just be quiet. So he said that. I guess he realized like, okay, Donta probably really real hurt me up in here, man. So I just better fall back. So I get back in my bed, right, and I'm laying on my back. Keep in mind, y'all, Peanut is still on the top right. So I just get to punching the metal bar that's over me, punching the bed. Boom, 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 right? I'm mad. I'm mad, y'all, because I'm like, of all, y'all, why would y'all put this dude in here with me, man? So I'm laying there, and he like, hey, listen, I don't know why you so mad. I never done nothing to you. Have I done anything to you? I said, no, you ain't never do nothing to me. He was like, so why you so angry at me? What did I do to you? Why do you hate my existence? I said, look, I don't hate your existence, man. It ain't that I hate you. I mean, I ain't got no problem with you. I just, man, I just don't want you in here. He was like, for what? What have I ever tried to come on to you? Have I tried to, make a pass at you? I said, no. He was like, so why you tripping on me like that? I said, man, listen, Peanut. He said, no, you listen, because I'm tired of being subjugated and abused around here because of my orientation. I said, Peanut, listen, man. He said, no, you need to so I jumped out the bed. I said, hey, motherfucker, don't be over talking me like I'm some type of chump. He like, well, I'm a man too at the end of the day. I'm a man too. I said, hey, listen, Peanut. It's just best that we just stop talking. It's just best that we just stop communicating, man. So he was like, all right, that's fine with me. So I get back in the bed, right? I'm hungry. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm hungry than a motherfucker, right? Peanut jump off the bed and he started making the nacho spread. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all. That was smelling so motherfucking good. So motherfucking good. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't ate damn near in 3 days. And I'm hungry. And they've been passing out brown paper bag lunch sacks. Apple or orange, a peanut butter jelly sandwich. And then they was doing some cats wrong with just giving them bread with nothing on it. Right? There's bread with no peanut butter jelly at all. Right? So I got my meal right here and I'm looking at it, but I'm smelling what he got. I'm like, man. So he was like, I left you some. I left you some. He done made his bowl or whatever. He done jumped back on his bed and he was like, I left you some if you want it. Right? What do y'all think I did? What do y'all think I did? Oh. Hold on, y'all. We got to put a pause in it right quick. Pause. We didn't do the question of the day. My bad, y'all. The question of the day is this, y'all. Which one of these movies was the best movie? New Jack City, Boys in the Hood, or Juice? One more time. New Jack City, Boys in the Hood, or Juice? Let me know in the comment section which one of these three was the best movie. All right? Put it in the comment section. So I get up, right? And I go to the desk because that's where he had the meal at. And I grab the plate, right? I grab the bowl and I sit back down. And I sniff it. I sniff it at first. Even though I watched him make it. I watched him make it, right? So then I took a chip, right? And I ate it. That shit was slapping, y'all. That food, that nacho spread was so good, right? Before I noticed that I licked the fucking bowl, right? So I get up. I said, "Hey man, what you put in there, man? What you put in there?" He was like, he smacked his lips like, "Well, what I usually do, I mix the lime ramen noodle sauce with the ramen noodle season, the lime." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, you get that and you hit it with some Worcestershire sauce and you just let it marinate, right?" So he got off the bunk and, he showed me his seasoning. So I said, "Oh, okay." He said, "Yeah, I'm a cook. A bitch got to keep they man fed." Right? But when he said that, it set me back. But I swallowed my pride because when he said that, I know that he was talking about his boyfriend and his husband that he got up in here. But when he said that, I just felt like he was directing that towards me. But I said, "Dante, chill out." Right? So he said, "Yeah, a bitch got to keep his man fed." So I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "How you learn how to cook like that?" He was like, "Shoot, my mama taught me how to cook." I said, "Hey, Peanut, man, what happened? Like, what made you, be you?" He was like, "Oh, I knew I was gay since I was like 10 years old." I said, "But like how? Like how did you, like what?" He was like, "Oh, well, I don't know. I just, I had all sisters and I just wanted to be like them. And I was putting on dresses and my mama makeup and heels and stuff, and nobody told me that. I mean, I knew it was wrong, but nobody told me to stop. So, in fact, they encouraged it. They thought it was funny." I said, "But, that's you doing make-believe. That's dress up." He was like, "Yeah, I know, but, it was just me being around my sisters and my mother. And, I just, yeah, I dated women, but I just felt like, ugh." And I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "Oh, all right." I said, "Hey, Peanut, what did you do to get in here?" He was like, well, one of my tricks didn't want to pay me, so I cut his D off." I said, "What?" It was like, one of my tricks didn't want to pay me, so I cut his D off. I said, oh, okay. All right. I said, how much time they give you? They gave me a dime, but you know how it is. You know how it is in Detroit. I said, you from Detroit? He was like, yeah, I'm off of 7 Mile and Gratiot. I said, get the fuck out of here, man. I grew up over there off of Barlow Street. He was like, you stayed on Barlow Street? I said, yeah. He was like, right behind Hamburg, right? I said, yeah. He said, did you go to Pulaski Elementary? I said, yeah. I went there. He was like, Dante, I know you. I said, what? He said, I know you. I'm your neighbor. I'm Benjamin from down the street. I said, Benjamin. Oh, then it hit me, y'all. Then it hit me. I know who this dude is. I grew up, this was my childhood friend in Detroit. Now, for those that don't know my history, I was born in Detroit, right? St. John Hospital. I don't think it's still there no more. This was back in 88. So I was born in Detroit. We moved to Flint till I was about 3 years old. From 3 years old, we moved to Atlanta. When I was in Atlanta, I got put in foster care when I was 5. How do I remember? Because I remember I lost my first tooth that I could never remember, my first bottom tooth in foster care. And it was around Christmas. Because I remember they celebrated Hanukkah. And we end up getting out of foster care when I was about 7. My auntie came and got us because she stayed in Detroit. So she came and got us, and that was the first time I ever was on an airplane. So from 7 to 10, we was in Detroit. Up the street from me was this dude named Benjamin. His dad was a firefighter, and he had a little sister too. I forgot her name. And he used to do backflips a lot. Like that's what his thing. He used to do backflips. And he was a real good friend. He was cool, right? So then from 10, my mama ended up getting custody from us, and we ended up moving to Flint. And so from 10 to 15, I was in Flint. From 16 to 19, 16 to 19, I was in Atlanta. And from 19 till right now, it was from Flint, Ohio, Atlanta, and now Vegas. Yes, I'm in Vegas now, y'all. So anyway, that's my history. So I'm like, what? Benjamin, man, what the? And it just didn't dawn on me. Like, I said, well, your dad was a firefighter. He was like, yeah, that was my stepdad though. That was my stepdad, and he left my mama. I said, dang, that's crazy. I said, well, how did you get in here again? He was like, man, I was selling my body, and, you know, one of my tricks didn't want to pay me, and he kept coming up short every time, and eventually he tried to put his hands on me, so, you know, I told him to come on over, and I was going to take care of him. Then I put Visine in his drink, and he was knocked out, and I cut his thing off, and, well, I'm here. I said, damn, Benjamin, damn. The social media channels promoted, make sure you shoot me a text at this number.
My channel get over 5 million views per month. So that's a lot of eyes on your promotion. If you forgot to hit that like button, make sure you smash the like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Be sure to get your Military Mind Games merch. The link will be pinned in the comment section. And last but not least, make sure y'all help me fight this war on poverty.